Good morning and welcome to the Entrada Institute. This is our 14th annual Heritage Starfest. My name is Marcy Milligan. I'm the board chair and we want to thank you for being with us here today. We have a full day's worth of events, but this morning we have a great speaker, an author who's joining us. So those people who are online, we want to thank you for joining us there. You can post questions and ask things as part of our Q&A today. The program and fees, as you know, the Entrada Institute operates 90 days of programming a year, and that's done based on all volunteer donations. So if you would like to donate online, please go to entradainstitute.org. We thank those who have already donated. Those who are in the room, we have a tradition called Pass the Hat, and we'll remind you again later about that. Please take your cell phones. Make sure you turn those off today so our speaker doesn't get interrupted. I have our youth ambassador here with us today, Canyon Daly. I want to invite you up. He works with us. We have music, arts, science, and humanities programming, and Canyon happens to be our youth ambassador for our Dark Skies program. He's done a film that he won an award for himself, and he's helped us put on the annual events and does solar and night skies monitoring activities with us. So I want to thank Canyon for being here with us. I'm going to turn it over to Canyon and let him introduce our author today.
Yeah, so thank you, Marcy. Hi, as you know, my name is Canyon Daly, and actually, as Marcy was just saying, ever since I was a young kid, I've been involved with the Dark Skies, and as she was saying, I went into a multi-state Dark Skies competition, and I posted a film about what the dark skies means to me, and the film was a little bit like, ever since I was a little kid, I've grown up in Teasdale, Wayne County, where the skies are just so dark. Every night in my bedroom I can see the stars, and it's really meant a lot to me. But I would go up to my grandma's house, and she lives down in Spanish Fork, which is by Salt Lake, which is a highly light polluted area. And so I would go down there, and I said I thought it was just a cloudy night or something, but as I further learned, it turned out to be light pollution. So I realized how lucky we are to live in such a dark skies place, and it's just wonderful being able to see my cousins and all of my relatives who live in light polluted places able to come down and really get to see how much seeing the stars means to them, even since they don't get to see it as much. It's really an amazing thing. And another thing about the dark skies is tonight at 10 p.m. We actually go out and we're measuring the dark skies, and that's one of my personal favorite activities. We use these laser beams, and we point them in the sky, and it tells you how dark the skies are, and it's quite an amazing activity, and it really helps you get to know really how dark Wayne County is, and it helps us renew our dark skies community. It helps us renew. It helps us stay a dark skies community. Yeah. So we hope to see you at some of our activities later today and tomorrow. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce you.
Canyon, I'm just going to remind the audience of one thing. We have solar viewing activities today at the park with the rangers. So if you're one of those families who wants to make sure where you're going, we have some solar viewing activities, and I want you to show up because we'll be there handing out some solar glasses that Kenya doesn't know I picked up to give to kids to prepare for next month's big event.
Oh, yeah. So that'll be super cool. Yeah, we hope to see you guys there for the, is that for the solar eclipse?
It is.
Yeah. Yep. We look forward to that solar eclipse, and we'll hope you all are joining us or doing something fun on your own for the solar eclipse. And without further ado, I would like to introduce Melissa, the National Book Festival award-winning author in Washington, D.C. Melissa, will you please come to the stage? She wrote this book right here, and as you can see right there, Ollie's Dark Sky Journey. And welcome.
Okay, thanks.
Canyon, I heard you got a sneak preliminary review and read the book.
Oh yeah, I won't give away too much, but it's going to be quite the journey, and I hope you all will enjoy it as much as I did.
Thanks
so
so
much.
Yep.
Thank you. Good morning. And as Canyon said, my name's Melissa Marstead. And to just tell you a little bit about myself and how I came up with this, the idea for Ole's Dark Sky Journey. I've been a runner, a writer, a skier, and I dabble a little bit in rock climbing. But I learned today that Canyon's a cross-country runner, and I started running when I was about 15 years old, and I ran in high school and college. And I've just found running to be the way for me to have peace in my life. So in 2008, a big change happened in my life when I lost my house in a wildfire. And a friend said to me, if you could do anything, what would you do? And I was in the midst of self-publishing my own children's book about a little boy in Machu Picchu. And I had done a marathon along the Inca Trail to Machu Picchu. So that was the first book that I published in 2009. And then in 2015, when I turned 50, two of my best running girlfriends convinced me to do my first ultra, which is roughly 32 miles. And in November of 2015, I was on Antelope Island on my second run and came up with the idea to write my first children's book about the national parks. 2016 was going to be the 100th anniversary of the National Park Service. So within 5-6 months, I had my first children's book, Buzzy and the Red Rock Canyons, about the 5 national parks in Utah. So to make a long story short, this is number 10 in the series. And it was about 2 years ago when I was traveling with my 14-year-old Jack Russell, and we were at Gooseneck State Park in southern Utah. And I was just, I have chills when I think about how dark and how quiet it is. And I knew about Utah's dark skies. And Utah has more than 20 international dark sky parks, and in the world there are more than 200, and within the state of Utah we have nearly 10%. And so I decided I like to write about endangered species. So Ole is a Mexican spotted owl, which is not necessarily endangered, it's actually threatened. And one thing I learned this morning is that there are a pair that breed in Capitol Reef National Park. And so after this presentation, I'm going to go see if I can find that spot. So I do like to write about endangered species. I include the phases of the moon in the book and nearly all the Utah dark skies. So what I'm going to do is read my book, and we'll have the illustrations. And if there are questions after, I'd be happy to answer them.
And can we ask people to come to the microphone at the end when you have a question?
Okay, we'll have people come to the microphone. Okay, thanks. So I'm going to start with the first page of my book. Thank you. Welcome to Canyonlands National Park, the first stop on my night sky journey. It's one of the most incredible places in the world, especially at night. Here in Utah, we have more international dark sky parks than anywhere else. My name is Ole, and I'm a Mexican spotted owl. Like most owls, I am nocturnal, and I hunt for food at night. I'm also a threatened species, which means I'm at risk of becoming endangered. I would like to find a friend to join me. Look up. The planets Venus and Jupiter are rising above Mesa Arch. Who will join me? I'm used to being alone, but I would like to have a friend to keep me company as I travel through these dark skies. I'll head to Hovenweep National Monument to see if I can meet a friend there. I'm not very hopeful because its name means deserted valley. I'm going to rest on the stone walls built by the ancient Pueblans many years ago. There's Aquarius. It's one of the largest and oldest constellations. Woo-hoo! Is anyone there? Time to keep flying and make my way to Rainbow Bridge. It's the world's tallest and longest natural bridge. Rushing water created it years and years ago. With no major cities or light pollution nearby, it's also one of the darkest places in the world. The stars are so bright, I can see Teapot, a pattern of stars called an astrium. What's that noise? I hear something rustling in the sagebrush. Little mouse, I'm hungry, so you better watch out. I'm a stealthy hunter, and I'll swoop down when you're least expecting it. I love these dark sky nights, especially with the waxing crescent moon. I soar above the twists and the turns of the San Juan River, meandering through the goosenecks. There's the constellation Scorpius, trying to sting the hunter Orion. I sometimes eat scorpions, but not tonight. Time for me to go off to natural bridges. It's a bit brighter with a quarter moon rising above Natural Bridges National Monument. 3 massive bridges were formed years ago when powerful water flowed through them. I'm perched on the one called Kachina. From here, I see the constellation Aquila that represents an eagle. Just like me, eagles often eat small mammals such as rabbits, mice, and squirrels. While I'm here, I'll snag a tasty treat with my talons before I continue my journey. I'm hungry. Hola, hola, is anyone there? There are so many places to explore in Capitol Reef National Park. I'll stop in Cathedral Valley. Maybe my partner is hiding here too. But I don't see any signs of another Mexican spotted owl. I love gazing into the dark sky. There's the constellation Lacerta, which means lizard. Hopefully I can find my own tasty lizard. I need energy for my next flight. I'll flap my wings and soar away. Kodachrome Basin State Park is magical, far from city lights. Thousands of stars shine brightly in the night sky. I can see the constellation known as Little Fox. I can perch on this perfect rock pipe and gaze all around. Believe it or not, I can turn my head in almost a full circle. No yummy creature can escape my sharp eyes. Watch out. I can fly under the rim of Bryce Canyon National Park and weave my way through the maze of hoodoo rock formations. In a few months, it will be too cold for me to stay here. My feathers keep me toasty, but I am not fond of snowy conditions. I would rather be somewhere warm, snuggling with my mate. The waxing gibbous moon illuminates the night sky. I can see the Big Dipper, which is part of Ursa Major, the giant bear constellation. Off to Cedar Breaks. Cedar Breaks National Monument is a ponderosa forest with massive red rock cliffs. I feel so tiny compared to everything around me. How will I ever find a friend to keep me company? I see Hercules in the sky, reminding me to stay strong, have courage, and never give up. It's the 5th largest constellation in the sky. I hear something in the distance. Who is there? Fremont Indian State Park is a tribal area where Paiute Native Americans lived many years ago. Etched into the cliff face are ancient petroglyphs. Some depict hunters, just like Orion, who shines in the sky with his bow. Orion is one of the easiest constellations to spot. 3 stars in a row form the belt of the night sky hunter. Guided by moonlight, I seek a place to call home. But first, I must find my partner. I hope she is near. I'll keep searching. Angel's Landing is a breathtaking view at Zion National Park. The light of the full moon reflects off the Virgin River, which weaves through the canyon far below. I am very fond of this location, but I have lots of energy. I'll keep going until I meet a partner to travel with me. Together we'll find a place to call home. Is that the sound of flapping wings? It's hard to hear over the roar of the rushing water. Where did that come from? Time to investigate. The moon is setting behind Wheeler Peak here in Great Basin National Park. The ancient bristlecone pine trees is a good place to rest. Well, hello there. I thought I heard the sound of wings. I've been wondering who is following me. My name is Ole. Hi, Ole. I'm Luna. It's nice to meet you. I've been looking for a partner to join me. Let's plan to fly together. Luna, follow me under the constellation Cygnus, which looks like a soaring swan. We are flying past the Jordanelle Reservoir. It is a lovely setting, but it'll be too cold for me by the time winter arrives. We'll soon head to an island in the Great Salt Lake. On our way, we'll fly over Rockport State Park, another dark sky park. But first, time to rest. This is my first time visiting Antelope Island State Park on the edge of the Great Salt Lake. There are more bison here than antelope. The bison remind me of the constellation Taurus, the large bull in the sky. Like the bull, I am strong, loyal, and dependable. Let's check out the highest point on the island, Prairie Peak. It might have a nook or two for us to build a nest. Ole, I love the views here, but I'd rather keep flying while we have the energy. Let's flap our wings and fly away. As we near the end of our journey, North Fork Park is a good spot to take a rest. The moon is shrinking into a waning gibbous stage. The stars in the constellation Aries are twinkling. This is an amazing dark sky park, but it doesn't quite feel like home. It's time to make our nest. We can start a family so that our species can survive for years to come. Let's go. Luna, it's so dark here at Dinosaur National Monument, where dinosaurs roamed many years ago. Look up at the Andromeda Galaxy. Ole, what is a galaxy? A galaxy is made up of stars, gases, dust, and other matter. Andromeda is one of the easiest galaxies to spot from here on Earth. Luna, do you think this is a good place for our owlets? Yes, but I'm not quite ready. Let's keep going. Take my wing. Luna, have you been here to Goblin Valley State Park? It's home to sandstone formations that look like scary monsters. I wonder if we can find a nook to nest under one of these hoodoos. And look, Leo the lion is roaring in the sky. Ole, it's so magical here, but there's more to see. Let's keep going a bit further. Off we go. Ole, I love the peace and quiet here at Dead Horse Point State Park. We can soar above the Colorado River, the rock pinnacles and buttes of Canyonlands National Park. Yes, Luna, with no light pollution. Pegasus, the winged horse, twinkles so clearly above us. This almost feels like home, but there's one more spot to visit as we finish our journey. Let's take off. Here we are. We made it to Arches National Park. Ole, this is it. This is home. Luna, follow me through Delicate Arch. The Milky Way is guiding us. We found home together. It's time to build our nest and protect our eggs. Ole, let's find a cozy rock crevice. It's been a few months since we built our nest to start our family. Our eggs have finally hatched. Welcome to your new world, Bella, Sol, and Sevilla. Your mother and I flew many miles, saw many places, and tested many ledges until we found this perfect spot. It was an amazing journey, soaring through some of the darkest night skies in Utah. Soon it will be time for you to fly into the night. But for now, the moon has set. Sweet dream, our little ones. We love you now and forever. The end. And just one thing I want to let you know about my books, at the end, I always include fun facts or other elements. And in this book, we have International Dark Sky Park fun facts. We also have a page, things you can do as a family to help with light pollution, and also more fun facts about nocturnal animals, constellation, and stars. Thank you. And now, questions? Or Canyon, if you have edits.
Do you have questions in the room if you want to come up to the microphone? My first question is, I love the pictures that went with the storyline. Did you do those, or who did the paintings?
I actually found the artist, and she was a student, and she was a senior at Logan when we went through it.
Oh, wow.
And so I will send her pictures from my journeys, and then she created, but the artist's name is Victoria Speck, and she is an absolutely amazing
Yeah, they're fabulous.
artist. So thank you for asking about her.
Yeah. Any questions online, John? No questions online?
Do you just want us to go to the microphone?
Please, yeah.
All right. This one right here?
Thank you.
Nothing too hard, Canyon.
So I was just wondering, so you talk about the night skies, obviously, and owls are obviously like really cool. They are not nocturnal animals, but what made you decide to use the Mexican owl specifically?
I think because I often try and find animals that are endangered or threatened within. Because I live in Utah, I try and focus on animals that are threatened or endangered. One of the books I did write about South Dakota is about the endangered black-footed ferret. Whenever there's a chance to weave in an endangered species, I like to make sure people are aware. And then the Mexican spotted owl came up, and actually it's kind of a funny little story how I came up with the name Olé. I have two boys that are now much older, but when they were playing soccer and they scored a goal, they would say, Olé, Olé, Olé. And then that's how, and actually my younger son is helping me to translate this book into Spanish, so we're working on that.
And what are some of the other endangered species that you've talked about?
So I have prairie dogs actually in the South Dakota book. I have monarch butterflies in my Acadia National Park book, which is Acadia National Park is the only national park in New England located in the state of Maine. I think our peregrine falcons, are they endangered or threatened?
Yeah.
So I've written about them. Bald eagles, I think. So my Yellowstone book focuses on a bald eagle. I often have peregrine falcons when I can. And actually, I have this idea to turn my first book about, maybe you guys might like to help me. So Buzzy and the Red Rock Canyons, I wrote in 2016. It was before I became interested in endangered species, and we have 2 endangered bumblebees in the state of Utah, so I wanted to rework that book so it focuses on what we need to help the pollinators in not just Utah, but everywhere. Hi.
Here we go. We have a special guest, and she has a question. Can you look at the audience for us and tell him your name? Can you tell him your name?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's your question?
I don't know.
Could you ask me? Will you ask me a question?
It's about this, right?
Yeah.
The map. What is that?
I know maps.
You know maps?
Yeah.
What
Okay.
what state is
I'll
this?
let you talk to her.
Do you know what state this is?
Yeah.
It's what state is it?
Maybe this one.
Where do we live? We live in the state of Utah, right? So what I did is I put a star that represents all of the Utah dark sky parks. And there are 2 green stars, which are 2 of the international dark sky parks that I didn't put in the book, but don't tell anyone. And then there are 2 red ones. One is for Torrey, and one is for helper. And I'm actually reading in helper next week. But those are the 2 dark sky communities in the whole state of Utah. And do you live in Torrey? Do you live here?
No.
No.
We just moved to a new house.
In the area?
Yeah.
In the area? Well, it's kind of special, right?
We're camping in a cabin nearby. We came here for the Star Festival.
Oh, where are you visiting from?
I think it's like
You're in Lehigh. Oh, okay.
So
Wow.
on
that's-
Saturday evening, when nighttime, you get to look through a telescope and you could see stars and even a giant sun.
Right. Did you see the sun and the sunspots during the daytime? Yesterday, I got to look through a telescope and I got to see the sunspots. It was really cool.
Are you going this afternoon to the solar viewing?
And I also,
At the park?
we also get to see planets.
Planets, yeah.
And did you see what planets were most visible, do you think? Do you remember?
Yeah.
What's that?
I think one's Mars.
I think one is Saturn.
Saturn.
I mean,
Maybe one's Mars, I think.
In Canyon, what planets would we see now?
I'm not sure.
Because I write about Venus and Saturn.
Yeah.
But so you probably got to see Saturn, right?
yeah.
Do we have any more questions in the back? I thought I saw a hand of interest. Do you want to come up to the microphone and ask a question?
I realized that the cover has the Capitol Reef National Park. What made you decide that?
Well, that's a really interesting question because guess what? Because I'm the author, the publisher, I get on the road to sell the book. We can actually change the cover for which state park or national park. So goosenecks, they have goosenecks, or Zion with Angel's Landing. So it was just kind of one of those coincidences. I don't know why I never thought to do that before. And so we will change the cover for whoever wants to sell our book. Thanks for asking that, though. I appreciate it.
Okay, if we don't have any more questions, I want to thank those who are online. We have a few announcements to make, though. I want to invite Canyon back up to talk about the schedule for the rest of today, and then I'll give some announcements about future programming here at the Entrada Institute. Would you like a flyer handout? Hang on 1 minute. Oh, sorry.
So just.
Yeah, we have programming starting after lunch. And if you could just read kind of a couple of those topics off so people know. You can go online too and look it up at entradainstitute.org.
Yeah, so make sure you're coming to the annual Heritage Starfest. And then also Donald Davis will be storytelling and doing a workshop. Sorry.
I need to stand near you with that.
Oh, that one's mine.
Okay, yeah.
This is when the mentee is smarter than the mentor. So here's your topics.
All right. So just read these ones or all of these. All right.
Yep. This
So
side.
today at 10:30 you spoke, and then 2 Gary will be doing some community IDA monitoring at the Teasdale Park, and at 2:15 p.m. Mark Swan, the astronomer, will do an Entrada observatory consultant. He'll talk about my lifelong astronomy journey. And then from 3 to 6 at Capitol Reef, the Capitol Reef National Park Rangers will
We'll be at the Torreytown Park.
We'll be at the Torreytown Park. They'll be doing some solar viewing and junior astronomy programs. At 3:15, Alpha Lambert, night sky intern, we'll talk about the internship highlights, night sky educationals and toolkit.
She developed a whole new one for this year to share with the community, and so we'll be really excited about
Yeah,
that.
that'll be super interesting. Hope to see you guys there. At 3:45, Andrew Smithskin, Don't think I pronounced that right, but we'll talk about the CRNP will be a CRNP Ranger, the Ring of Fire, and preparing for the 2023 annual eclipse. And at 4:15, Mary Begenfield Smith and Mayor Mickey Wright. The annual solar eclipse viewing activities will be in Torrey.
They're going to give us the whole schedule. You want to write them down and you want to show up early. Why? Because we know thousands of people will be in town, so you're going to want to get there, get parked, and be there early so you don't get bumped out of your spot for the activities.
Yeah, a fun fact is Wayne County will be one of the best spots in not only Utah but like the entire nation. Wayne County will be one of the very best spots for viewing the eclipse. So yeah, there'll be lots of people.
So in the lectures this afternoon, they're going to talk about some safety protocols. So the kids who are here this morning, if you're going to be here, we have some solar glasses. If you show up in the afternoon, you'll be able to pick some of those up.
Yep.
And then we have awards today too.
Yeah, so at 4:30 p.m. the Night Sky Stewardship Awards, Bill Briggs, William Kennedy, and Mickey Wright. They'll be doing those awards. At 7 p.m., Mason runs through traditional Nakota. Did I pronounce it already? And storytell, and he'll be doing some storytelling as well on the Native American culture. And at 9 p.m., Gary and Barb will talk about the Dark Skies volunteers. We will be doing that night sky monitoring and viewing party at the Torrey Town Park. That's just what I was talking about earlier, where they use the layers to measure not only how dark the night sky is, but it also measure the amount of light pollution in the sky. So yeah, we hope to see you there at those activities, and yeah.
I think one of the greatest things, Canyon and I have talked about it before, but this is one of the few places where the skies keep getting darker. So we're doing a great job with local homeowners and their lights, and with local businesses, and we're pretty excited about that and keeping it nice for the next generation.
Yeah.
Maybe your kids.
Yeah, hopefully it just keeps getting darker and darker.
Okay. Our next announcements are for the Entrada Institute. As you know, we put on 90 nights of performance here per year, and that's provided and sponsored by local donors. So the upcoming events are September 17th is Donald Davis. So someone in the audience asked me, he's a storyteller. He'll be here to talk about discovering stories that are already in us. He was here last year. He's back by popular demand. You won't want to miss out on that evening. September 17th, Donald Davis is talking again the next day. So he's here at 4 o'clock and then at a 7 o'clock p.m. session. So you want to come to both. On September 21st, Andrea Ross is an author. Her book is called Unnatural Selection, a memoir of adoption in wilderness. It takes place on the Colorado Plateau and explores its natural and cultural history of the place. So please show up for her. And then finally on September 30th of this month is Twisted Brother will be here. And as you might expect, that's a great local band. Mark Cheney, Dan Walker, and Kevin Stout collectively are called Twisted Brother. They'll play some jazz standards for us. So those concerts are outside. You can always sign up. Go to entradainstitute.org. Watch for those announcements and sign up to come. Thank you for being here today. We have one more announcement, it looks like.
Yeah, and before we go, I would just like to let you know that Melissa donated 5 of these books to Entrada. They will be available at this old house on Main Street. So yeah, thank you, Melissa, for doing that. And if you'd like to pick these up, they'll be at this old house on Main Street.
Thank you so much for being here with us today. We'll see you this afternoon. I love that the storyline has enough detail to keep you really interested. Right? It was really informational and helpful.
Do you want the copies that I donated?